Revelation 1072. From the 26th of August 1939. Question, answer. Thought activity, spiritual activity. Sometimes man desires enlightenment in things which stir his thinking, and he does not pay attention to the thoughts flowing into him, which seem to appear of their own accord and just want to be seized. Now man would receive the clear answer to all questions, he would be informed truthfully, one might say, about everything that seems desirable to him to know, of course always under the condition that he believes and desires to stand in the truth. If man would like to pay more attention to all his thoughts, it would soon strike him that always some question is followed by an answer in the form of a thought, which man, however, rejects as given by himself, but which appears again as a thought from time to time, thus, again and again forces itself into the consciousness. All such thoughts which touch on problems, which often occupy man, are whispers of the beings on the other side, which cannot announce themselves differently to man than exactly in the form of thought transmission. These beings have the same need as the people living on earth to communicate with each other, and therefore all spiritual beings can express themselves mentally. If now the will of man is present to receive such expressions, a regulated spiritual exchange can take place. Now also the beings can express themselves whose knowledge is not sufficient and who therefore also instruct the people wrongly. But man's own desire for the truth sets the limits. Who desires the truth for the sake of the truth, needs to fear no transmissions of such immature spirit beings. For the desire for truth only attracts the beings standing in fullest truth, which are exceedingly willing and strive to guide man on earth into all truth. And therefore the lying spirits only have influence on such people who are more concerned about everything else than about the pure truth. Man should ask himself, what is the thought? How does it originate, and what is the occasion for such an infinitely different formulation of the thought? And this must become the answer for him that the thought is spiritual power, and that therefore spiritual power is mediated. And indeed the mediator must possess this spiritual power in abundance, in order to be able to give it to the receiver. So the possessor must have an advantage over the desirer. And therefore every question is a desire and every answer is a fulfillment. The spiritual power is nothing tangible, but only spiritually perceptible, and therefore the thought is something what certainly every person can take up and yet cannot see or feel. And it must now be understandable to man that the origin of the thought can only be spiritual beings, which want to give what they possess in fullness and also can do this, and only on the part of man, a certain willingness to receive must be there, which is founded in faith. For only the believing man recognizes and affirms the work of the spiritual beings in such a way and finds the right explanation for the thought transmission and generally for all thought activity. Amen.